the best assurance. Special ice, natural mineral water, and drinks a hood one. And some of the demo akutini ebi eni.
Mampanyin na nado danko Ekufuado edi ato Ghana mebunu nyina enim sekria ye adwuma no mfa so wo so enu nti omofo mo ho enyim.
Abai edit to mikrata ama Atlantic Lithium Limited for so muntu fo magudie mfinhye dunum ewo Ghana.
Na fe so ensema odmunyamfo Jachi Question edekoto court enim edefa odmunyamfo KT Hammond hono. Says court abonsem no egu.
Adehye wo ampaba me a eno no ewa santimantemu akasa de atudwa so mo kwanye nti aban meyema wo.
Amanebo abase sika yenya ewo fangumu efri January eba June busumi nimuno eye $540 million.
Gaza ampapresun tokwa no ensi yemu ayede intention no kwa na ekosoro yebedi mu nkombo.
When in same be a can ho any de babeso mu se no nsia brim kasebo abna bayi nya no any meeting mene.
Akua ajiwa akode.
Afe ye be share yensem no ase. Mampanyin na nado danko Ekufuado edi nsem bi ato Ghana emebunu enim se kriayo adwuma no akwanya ne mfaso bebrebom enu nti omofo mo ho enyim wo se emfa ho se sukuu no wakobi anasa wunko bi so omo de omo ho gimu a eyade ebeboa amomoda achen esipi.
It's obvious that expanded opportunities for the youth are inherent in the design of the program, which focuses on value chain development. To take advantage of this opportunity, I urge the youth to rally around this initiative and form cooperatives and partnerships for the maximum benefit of the program. In the face of limited resources, forming partnerships is the best way to mobilize resources on a bigger scale for productive ventures. What is also reassuring is that the second phase of the Planting for Food and Job initiative, in addition to promoting large-scale production, addresses the issue of marketing through off-take arrangements as part of the import credit module introduced under the new program, which will surely mitigate post-harvest losses and the risks associated with farming. With this assurance, there should be no excuse for unresponsive youth to be involved in agriculture. It is important to stress that sustaining Ghana's agriculture depends on the youth. The youth are obviously the future of this country, and we count on their vibrancy, fresh ideas, and innovation to improve our collective fortunes. Agriculture, a major sector of the economy, and participation of the both educated and uneducated. This dialogue, this platform, is a valuable step harnessing the potential of
Abontra asase monjira mkotu lithium diabi potoka semino ne friend no prospecting no waye hwehwehwemu nyina so waye no so no waye wi oni abantenansia no baba ya koso aban ene kuinso wonya won ho entiase ena asase yantambe 42.63 square kilometers ena aban dane edema adwuma kuinso won fanti lithium ewo ma Ghana emu also for that so ye asase no oba de ne patwe ho ahia so ano orumenafo Samuel abugina Paul ene gina aban na emu a wode ne nsa hye entiase apam no ase o kire nsemu sei.
The lease we are signing today, as I've indicated, among others, has innovative provisions such as, one, an increase in royalties rate from the standard 5% to 10%. The company will pay 10% royalties on all minerals mined. Two, an increase in the state-free carried interest from 10% to 13%. Government will therefore hold 13% shares in the company, which we will not pay for, but will be entitled to dividends and other rights. Three, an additional government participation through the acquisition of shares. Thus, in addition to the 13% shares, government, through the Minerals Income Investment Fund, MIF, will acquire additional 6% shares in the mining company and 3.06% shares in the holding company, which is listed on the Australian and London Stock Exchange. This will bring government's interest in the company to 19% in the local company and 3.06% in the foreign holding company. Additionally, government and MIF will have representations on the board of both the local company and the foreign company to protect government's interests. To ensure that other interested Ghanaians benefit from this mining operation, the company will list on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and their shares will be made available to Ghanaian entities and individuals, including SNIT, pension funds, and other high-income individuals. In addition to all taxes, royalties, and levies, including 1% growth and sustainability levy, the company, Atlantic Lithium, will also pay 1% of its revenue into a community development fund to be utilized for the development of communities impacted by their operations.
Titina ni Edma Atlantic Lithium adwumakuo no Neil Hebert enso kasa ye kyerem san hyehyɛ bia o my Ghana de egu apono so amomo no obehwe hunu so obedi su kama na wondwumadi a wobedie no ho konkoba asem
to bringing this mine to mutual benefit and production as soon as possible, always abiding by the laws and regulations of Ghana. Thank you.
Afi July bosumeda na etoso enso ena onimunyamfo James Jachi Kwesi na lawyer for etrokrata e de court a wumu kire mu se onimunyamfo KT Hammond so afọ wo hwe dwadie eni infidi nyuma so we bu court animtia akase onimunyamfo Jachi Kwesi otwene mutan a eyade obekwa akoda afiase abra court endi nasem enwie ne court etna asem no so nanso emuaya ebaaye ne se ensema omode beto omanim no enyina so bia enim enunti omabo ede atoagu ne kowie ye no ena ye no onimanfo KT Hammond edwetwen enkomo.
It's only a very short message. I want the lawyers of Jachi Kwesi to understand. KT Hammond to court as a victim, as stated by their lawyer Amalba. He stood here at the forecourt of this very court, exactly where we are standing, and told the whole world that they decided to decide their option, their discretion, to institute this action against me, this application against me, as a victim. They chose me as a victim. KT Hammond is nobody's victim at all. Nobody's victim. I'm also telling them they must go back and read the rudiments of the law. They should understand. These guys there, these fellas out there should understand the principles of the law. They just simply cannot decide to expend the court's time and expend individual's time for no good reason. You heard it very clear, very articulate by the judge. Made a point, yes. The wheels of justice can't be clogged, but also the constitutional imperative of freedom of speech. But more importantly, you want somebody to be committed to prison, you come to court with competent, with credible evidence on the hearsay of some other reporter, just because you want to make a victim of KT Hammond. He's nobody's victim. We should go back to the rudiments of the law.
Akoso modam ye bie nam so amane de ohawo ene hwehweye abeto adehye sufisensuyire aba ewo from mantemu ni epoye mantemu fa baabi we enam so ama oswafo abede ekira wono ne hwede ubo ensam so ene na pamfo akofra mantemu ni baabi a emu akano ni omo akwakasa hwe mu nkra ne na afa so hawo no omo akasa akwakwohwe sene a anodin esitie
ensuo ne wo bre bi edru baabi a na esese omu bie na ebiko so man bia ma bia nkwa ebetimi ebu a ye behwe inam kane anya no nko a ensuo dodo a ebefri dam no aba fom no eno nko akra be ma ya hwe nkwa ahwe japade ne niema bebre enti afia na wafia no se ehu behia se ensuo no ye drum pempen so bi a ebetimi de atore nchema ba na ehu behia se VR mpanyimfo and the Ministry of Energy o metu anamo na nsuo no mama biako nanso yenim se nsuo ya o mo bebie ama biako yi ye no so wonsunso aso a yenim se ha mo pan yi etunso aso na honorable deputy minister bobo obi so ene sese bi obi o ho a waye na fu ye bi nsuo ni nti wa hwere ni na o mo sese o mo ko school sese nsuo yi ro bebia nkora ne ntimi nkɔ baabi a ebi o nso so obi wɔ hɔ nom a no wayɛ ne fish pond kakra bi a ne mmoa wɔ nsuo na yiri no ne nyinaa wahwere obi nso so agyapadeɛ nsuo ayiri akata ne fie so asɛ ne nneɛma bebree ɛyɛ nneɛma a ɛyɛ yie na ɛno no nso nti aban nim sɛ yɛ wɔ asɛdeɛ si etu anamɔ a ebetumi aboa na ɔmo akɔ ahohiahia mu yaso ɔmo asene ɔsesa nti ɛna Volta River Authority ɛyɛ VRA ɔmo ato kutuo bi ato nkyɛn sɛ ɔmo de bɛboa ama yɛnya akandeɛ a yɛde bɛma nkɔfoɔ na asosɔ ɔmo asene kɔpem ɛbrɛ a nsuo no mpɛmpɛnsoɔ no bɛba fam na ɔmo atumi asa akɔ ɔmo afie asa akɔdi ɔmo dwuma na ɛnu bi ne sɛ deɛ ɛnu bi ne sɛ wobɛhwɛ anadmo ɛde enuane efie nneɛma a wobɛhia akadeɛ a wobɛhia nsamena ɛyɛ mattresses ne nkeka ho bebree bɛboa ama ɔmo wɔ camp ha ne other camps na ɔmo asetena mu ɛbɛhenha wɔ ho enti saa anamɔ ne anamɔ bi a yɛtu.
We know that there's a risk of water-related diseases breaking out here. So because most of with the support of VRA and other organizations, we have enough sachet water ordered. So if it doesn't get to any place, they should just call the emergency operations center and they will have whatever they need. We don't want anybody to consume the surface water. Nobody should risk it because we are in danger of cholera, typhoid fever, and other water-related diseases. So we're taking every step to make sure that people have access to safe drinking water.
Yeah, akoso ewo from mountain ne epoye mountain fa baby no enam so ama asue omo hwe enkwada fa hodie so aye omo hwehwe mu ehuni se enkwada omo ho aka no omododo no ebebro empemudu enunti omo aso nadmo asene sika 50,000 Ghana cedis se omo fa hwe enkwada yi
akoso mbo dam nso ba mudodo na ntema mpenfo bi dam na pro ni bi ato ho no ma nsuo etwifa mu ko no ede wo hawa bankruto ahodo a etwa dam no ho ahia yi pa eni efifra mantem odidi mu ankwa pie mu apoe mantem akurudodo na nso no won ho aka we amaku wondi ne Unauthorized International mpenfo aba na akwa pie mu ewo mepe wodi woni kotwa mansa won hwene tia santem akwa akwa nsunsuan so a ede abrade hye ne so ne titiriw ene emofra wochim sisi wo hawa aba bibia ndia dance se na na so wo kina dishafo ba benya kwan na watumi akọ school ebe ha yi enkane a watwitwam ensuo nso mma aduane ne makeka ho nyina ade hye ne di ho kompa na penyin kwankyerefo da Unauthorized International ko nan no owura bright apia ne kasem na wo kyerem se we ne nya de aban kwa bitima ye ne saye so nti oni eku ahodo ka wonti apamo se na be na ade hye no bitima ko mo ne titiriw ene emofra ku ahodo nso besere se won so wonye bi emfamoa
senior initially ye betimi be take data na ye assessment ne ye se nkora issue affect you no there were more than 10,000 plus na ya ba rounds up in situation o hwe baby ankara na te o hwe okwan mo fa so mo de yo mo niama ni mpenifo ni saniama na generally no see etimi hu say there's a looming danger eba see etimi so ano na environment nankasa no sheda enyi nkora ho nkaso nkora wo yentem ntino anamo bi se ni anamo se ni see etu I say ya ka bibia aboso na obia eye ne office ebe man ho ato no na megidi se no kra no ebetimi de help pia abran kwara no nti ho behia se yempenifo no betu anama ebema omo ho na hu se nkwara so komo na omatimi design environment such a way say nkwara nankasa so will be psychologically no or betimi nya education be se ne betimi abom na ye collect data the real data to do assessment of the needs of nkwara no once you are able to get it no and we say omo be here uniforms and omo be here empaboa and as I can't hear betimi amoma go school no yes ya from there na be kakra de aboa amankra no fa hu de na di
omo school no bi ensu afa won omo school so be brain so na ye dia ye safe even ya keeping crofo ewo nti sana ye kan ye won hie no baby a eye school no ye hwe baby foforo a ye betimi adi crofo no cause so that school best at school on say nyama we see a nkwala na etai ka omo pa nti uko almost all the camps obi hu nkwala bebre e wo ho nti child rights omo boy a mo ne ba e ene ejuma omo di se nkwala no omo asiti nem no ebe ko enim kakra na ebe ye better sin enu ye beda omo ase papa se omo nkoso enyesa emma ngofofo from so embra embe bo nkwala na nti tu nkwala na emma no
Macho Mapa RC Primary Voter Region.
Osi ofre Mapa Voter Region RC Primary.
Enyo hienwinya.
Osi adia enya omo school nkoda ni nyina ni
Agbale.
Book.
Bag.
Any school bag.
Afupa.
Any mpabwa omo de beko school. Sena okano no osi sena nsuo no ton no. Omo nyama ni nyina yeden asai. Enti saa nyama na wabobɔ so ne nyina no ne nyina yɛ den asɛn so di ne nyina yɛ de ɛkɔɛ enti ɔmo hia nyama na wabobɔ so no a ɔmo de bɛyɛ den ɛde bɛkɔ school enti ɔmo hia mboa every bɛpɛ voter region
nipa bebre akɔda no mu asuri nyama bebre sɛ atadeɛ nsum atadeɛ na ɔmo bɛhyɛ mpaboa ne duane yɛ ne duane yɛ bi nsuo susu nsuo Yeni nsuo susu yehia nsuo yehia boa pa
yehia moa se ne be ya omatimi amoa ye na saa nyoma no na etimi akɔso nti yehia moa di omo achiro awie ne di omo eto aso no na omo hia moa
Yejina we se so ahomia ba ye ba kase bo no ye beto aso adaro menko bebi ye basisia
By Betwa Yensem so na Dreamtinenia Public Interest and Accountability Committee wadano asesiano oko na humijimu eye Professor Kwame Adom Frempong opanyi ede atudwa se sika yenya ede free fangumu no ye kekani nyina bom efree January bosome no eba June bosome a eye $540 na wase ombeko so ade omani ade echi na ehun kuntabuo bia no omode ama adehye.
Public Interest and Accountability Committee ye twanitia from PIAC eka dwumakwa hwe hu ni so my Ghana fango a yetuo no wode wani ebedi akire bi na asem kai bi ebefiri mu aba no wasade na dwuma Ghana fo nyina watumi ahunu bi ne kwempenifo akire mu se afin pa mu report ode apie monten so ne di adanse ye efiri January ekosi June busumi mu no sika enya efiri fango mu no ne gina $540,456,124.27 a fango enya yenso so no na ya ankore baako $22,452,079 sansem we nyina no Professor Kwame Adom Frempong titina ya no da PIAC ku na no ode dwumadi nyina ba wieye ena de nsem yi atudwa
afibia no ye ntrechiremu am ye hu sika enya na so this year in 2023 from January to June no sika enya $540 million $540 million and enya no afimu fu ya no nyankwa wie nti edrense ye de abatoto last year honan so che last year mienu a am say akakra na ye true last year de no fa e form kakra de and so mo amunim say last year say de petrol boss course no e ma yenya skapa na they say no petrol board still a osro de so e form kakra sne last year de no enti say dem me say subiem no from January to June 30th we have $540 million.
Na Jubilee Oil Holding Limited ye adwumaku omo bata GNPC omo etu aya hodenie a eno ye fangu no ebi ewo my Ghana mu na so mutu atwafata so mutu sika ede ema Ghana ebeye mpre enanie no se sika no emaye entenam so ama Public Interest and Accountability Committee PIAC 24 dia to mashimedwafo nim so momwa na se sika no yenje
Holding Limited and I sika bi o ha say O2 petrol no now koton anase onya hunska no de ko aban fotum na no afizia hu na ne sisu biom se no ye ade that table so ade bia debate GMPC for chiro mu adwene so achire mu adwene attorney general so achire mu adwene ya sika $70.4 million ne ense bibia no enko Bank of Ghana Petroleum Holding Fund mu but say no omoyo subsidiary no dividend as a call eba near catch them to January to June sika ye free say $70.4 million no as a $US no as a corner enyankoi and as a anko and omo hwehwem na parliament ba that's explanation GMPC ekano eto asumu anase attorney general de eto asumu na ndumu be no ma be as a PIAC de hu ye ne ebeka ye hu ayen kanti de hu no en se be mprebe 9 sika enya free no $343.1 million sa sika no ye de yensu ye ne se esenke Bank of Ghana but ya dwene ne MPC ani attorney general no enko pepepe enti no de jama parliament for ani omanga for say omo enhwehwem na de se de to bia no ye de ato
Abedwafo a oman Ghana ene oman Togo yahye omobo ho ban akabom amasesia no omo kwan pa ombetimi afaso na ahye yi ombetimi aboho ban a boni bia maso anase nipa bonfo bia emefri yen ara
oman bia ni abra ne hye wo bo ho ban sanso oman Ghana hye de ni Togo ntamu no empinifo ni abra wo hwe hu ni se ebetumi ada ho na Ghana yendidi nwura oman Togo mu anase Togo nso odidi nwura Ghana asase eso ni ko omo na dwumadi hye wonsa Ghana Togo Land Boundary Reaffirmation Technical Committee ɛde ne ntoma bɔ Ghana Boundary Commission dia na ɔhwɛ hu ne sɛ sɛne sɔde hu ni ebetumi abamu na mpenifoɔ ne ekua hodo kan bi wom ɛna ekua hodo mu mpenifoɔ wɔde ɔhwehwɛ mu yi to n'anim na wɔn nso no wɔ mmoa bi a wɔde atawo n'akyi na wɔdwumadie na wie pɛyɔ Major General oda Ghana Boundary Commissioner no Owura Emmanuel Kotia wɔn ɔsɔfo abɛdi akyire wɔda so yɛ hwɛ asase ɛna ɔba de ne patwi ho hyia so ano ɔdumunyafo Benito osu bio ɛde nsɛm sɛ yi atudwa.
Today we are launching phase 3 which will cover a distance of 100 kilometers and it is going to spread from Afegame to Wuli. Whilst this exercise is going on, most of the affirmed areas we're going to have construction of new pillars. And these new pillars are going to consist of main pillars, which would cover a distance of 2 to 3 kilometers. We're going to have intermediary pillars, and we're going to have crossing point pillars. We are introducing a new set of pillars that would go down, will be buried down 2 meters, and then we'll have it standing up, coming up on the surface of about 2 meters as well. The colors will also be very distinct, and the distances are going to be reduced for easy identification and the recognition of our new boundary pillars. We are hoping that when this is done, we'll continue with the sensitization exercise whilst construction of pillars are ongoing, and then the community will be carried along. We will also continue to re-identify our buffer zones so that the sanctity of the buffer zones would be protected.
Pillar ni die esisi ni dada. Ba baby wo ho anuma bo nse bia na abu. Bi wo honum so anu bi na ahye dapot atu afiri ho. Enti ene die na ehia ne se esi ye ba ye communities na wo ye Ghana ni Togo border na afamu hanom. Na ye ba ye be hia ye nkuro na wo no ahemfo. Ene oman no dom oni na ama wo na betenase Togo fo so bae ebe kan ye ho yes adwumadi ya ye be ebe boa wo nyina na wo nyina so beta etire ade na wo ye no mo ya ama ye ya Ghana ene yo musoso sa so na ye Togo fo no soso anu nti omo ba enye hehe bia anu nti ni aba ye boderu no sa de ebe ya wo mu sa so ve ya fo nam kwai ni mu a wo mu nka se yi na we mu de wo mu fere he
Togbe Kofi Ayisa Hunduta Hini Enso Kasebi.
For some time now, there have been a confusion as to the extent of the international boundaries of both Ghana and Togo. And it is only those of us who are along the borders that feel it. So if this activity is meant to reaffirm and redemarcate the borders, then it is a welcome news. On behalf of my colleagues from the other adjoining communities and my people from Honeta traditional area, I wish to commit our support to this activity.
Ensio ane ahunidie hyehyeye ahodoɔ no ya na empenifoɔ ebu nkunta edito ano na mfempi mienu ane edu meche 2010 ane mfempi mienu ne aduonu baako 2021 mu no na empenifoɔ ehwe nkunta buo so di omo report na so mo de sem aba beto edwa omo achiechie mu sani esitie ne faso befiri so abre ne kwan befa so a yebema nsuwansuwa ne ahunidie nsenkaye no akoyi.
Aban kuntabufu abedi akyire Dr. Faustina Afempon ne kasɛm na wochichi mu hwehwemu a ekuo na ye ade afa ahunidie na nsuwansuwa ho nsɛm ɛwɔ magane mu ɛho okyire mu sei.
Water is life, and COVID-19 has made us to understand that water is indeed life, because every second wash your hands, every day clean your hands, every that do that. So water is important, and the government association mentioned that 31 of the SDGs indicators or policies or targets focus on water, and so water is critical. Again, unsafe sanitation and lack of hygiene will expose us to things or sicknesses and can lead to death. Then again, we also have an indicator talking about the proportion of our schools that have access to basic water. Again, hand washing facilities as per the WASH indicators and their definitions. So water is important in what we are looking at.
Nanko so no for Dr. Frida Kusa Prempe also for dance when na hunidia so na no nanko so pinyi na no koko pie mu e won hyemu yase bi wantumi anko oro ne mpabo akese de hyema me Patricia Dovi Samsema no koko gina na mu ma me Patricia kasa ime na wo chirim se reporter Ghana Statistical Service in Penfo de pie monten so no ebebo mo pa na aban yitu na mo bi de fa hunidie e no nsuwansu ho nsem ho a ho kwan obetunu wo e de afa.
The sanitation indicators include information on toilet technologies used by households, sanitation service levels, and defecation points for households without toilets, categorized by region, districts, and type of locality. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Government Statistician, it is our expectation that this further analysis of the data will enhance targeting and priority setting in our collective efforts to attain adequate, clean, and reliable water supply as well as decent environment for all.
Nanokokra mu no aban kuntabufo penyini Professor Samuel Kobina nim enso kasaye esra aban atena ye na ku ahodo se wonka wontimpam ho no wonya dwumaso famwa na Ghana hu ni die nanso wonsu ahonsem no entumi enkonkan.
Over the 11-year period, that is from 2010 up to 2011, annually, from the water access, improved access, annually, your progress is 1.20. Given the national target of 61.85 and at the current 57 now, with that annual progress of 1.20, it says by 2025, 61.9 or 61.85 target, if we have to achieve it, the Ghana Statistical Service or to say we need to accelerate the intervention into the Ayakache Ministry. Say you share more national policy now, or more developing different scenarios where almost full funding, medium funding, and now minimum funding. Let's go back to the drawing table now. If we have to revise targets now, revise the targets and so. Associated with the health implications of some of these practices, that is open defecation and accessing water that is not improved, because it have challenges on our health situation, and that is what is contributing to our low productivity at work, our shortened life expectancy. Until we will continue to urge the ministry to do a lot of publicity campaigns on these interventions and practices that are good for our own health. So Ghana for say, let's all work towards accessing improved water and end open defecation by 2030.
St. Ghana Global Health Advocacy Incubator NFA National Center for Coordination of Early Warning and Response Mechanism for no omunyina akabum edinefo mienu esiho a omoye enkyerɛkyerɛ dwumadi ebo enkramante mu ha omudwumadi omudi no afi atwam ene ne yewramu yi omodan nyina edi akyerɛ mo mpanyimfo
Shia Hanma adukuto yepese ye say yepese your partners and stakeholders say ye no omu bekasa so that send be ya your information benya send so mbehu say National Early Warning Center so aba ma adwuma ono so ye send be ya yina ebetumi aye ama Ghana send ato anto ye say problems crime, health issues and na violent extremism na ebetumi aye adwuma no ama asomdwe aba Ghana. Early Warning Center no adwuma na enya in isolation. It's just for the national good. And already national security so na adwuma na ekosoro a ekoto national security ni. Nya be ya na be bo an say hu bibi wo brono a wote no a bibi a wote bia wonam na hu bia ka sa betumi aka so bi wadanfo kra ye bibi na ye bone aka kire so ade a wo ye na ade entoye beba man ade program beba man say yin na ye ne sa na collectively e betumi aye ma Ghana akonene.
Over the years, our member states were encouraged and supported to develop national chapters of this important tool, and hence the establishment of the center here in Ghana in November 2010. 2021. Admirably, the concept of the early warning and early response has now grown as a comprehensive mechanism or vehicle to cover all possible threats and challenges to human security, emanating from crime and criminality to wider or broader security issues such as terrorism, violent extremism, governance and human rights, issues relating to climate change and environment, as well as health and pandemic. It is my wish that today's workshop will not only bolster stakeholder relations, but also foster greater understanding for a collaborative effort of the significant role of stakeholders in the overall framework of early warning and early response system in Ghana and in the entire sub-region.
This timely initiative thus crucially impacts human security in our national jurisdiction and the regional community, because the center focuses on timely identification of any emergent crisis and the implementation of an enhanced crisis response mechanism. In so doing, it alerts the relevant authorities, agencies, and those at risk of any threat and vulnerabilities to our collective human security and helps to safeguard peace and security, which is a sine qua non for the development that our regional economic community collectively aspires to. It is said that the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. That is the goal which drives the NCCRM.
Yejina we say so asa home abi yeba ibesa to akase bo no eso. Yema ye ho akwa be kasebo no ekoye mpotemu ampa me number 1 ewo atwuma kwa nwoma mansinim ewo asante mantemu eho na adehye no ene ye di nkomo ade atodwa chechirimu ese akwantempon ewo kronim ni ko no ntwie nso no nyina da no atete apansamasai oye ne hwea enyeye akobadi edin omo brehunu amane enu nti aban kai won no meyema o
UTV aproba ye bono mensini ne enkroso ne ehwese ne amanfo asetrem sitie no na wotwe ede ye kopiem wo ampabame number 1 ampabame number 1 eye kro baako a eno atwema kwa nwoma mensini mo ewa asante mantema na mra UTV nsempwefo kopiem ho no adehye kire se eniema betima boa omo ama asetrem atimi akoyie no eye ade enkoyi omakwan enye ohwe portal so ewo kwan na ahodo ene eniema bi betima boa omo no eye ade enkoyie kra ohwe drainage system ewo ho eye ade emmo nsoto enya ade a etimi eboa eno nti womo echese yempanyimfo a womo eda mansini so womo nkeka womo na mra womo kasa na womo kire se womo te asem de kakra efise womo te se sampetemo no akwan ahodo bi wo honom a panyimfo ahyehya enche bia contractor eba so awoye eno eya asem da womo te se etimi bemu a ebetimi aboa pa womo ne UTV nsemptwefo twetwe nkomo no womo to a womo nsem no so sei
yentamo hadie sensu yo to na wugina echepo enya agrokra nse obi fia wasie ene de aye kwan aye namu obi dua ne wapan ne wafa no akonti eho de bread bebre sese dipa current me kwan so fisa amena de da ase ni current me fa pan ni ntimi fa ena eni current nto ne ma ha kra benya ska kra to aduane yedie no yenya bi wo mu fa abontenkwan no anu kofa na se ha de obi anfa ye sremo ni die mu ahobrasie mu se mmehu ye mobo na mo medom ye
ye nya agi papa de nipa ne baba ye da mahen because buku no wan ya ye hu baby a ye ba fa bio nti yame ne ye di hire buku no yame hire no anka no ho onbo no ho ban awo adwuma pa a wo baba ya
se baby bia ni ana se ye de aso se be aban ana se ahemfo so nka ye nyina ankra obi aka so ye ne chefa nka beboa esikafo bebre kromu a ebiti a bia sida wa ti ye bompa se nka timamu ni bia se be kakra oni nsem nka obeboa ka be makru na koso se kru ni koso na ye bokru ni din a ibe kan ye bonu din pa bi be kan ye ti ye be da na se empire bode bi ebo ne se nyankopon ebema ne yekoduro honhom
sa gate de hanum obi titom na opra eyensem bebre enti me ne meyire yebehunu ekwan se de se no in fact ye hu dwure enti ekan akoma se yenye de betumi bia na yemfa enye kwan Ghana ha aban yentumi nya bibia mo abanko aso yentumi nya bibia mo ayemfo nko aso ye atimamufo as individuals no ye betumi ase eboa
Yema yeho akwa abafe yeto akasebo ne so ade akọ amnone ensemu yenim se Israelfo ne Palestinianfo no ade aboani a enye asamketwa na Gaza papre so ena miadie no ekoso nipa dodo no a akwa akobo mo ho adwa enam so amamansanka muko ne fa ehwe nipa yiedie ene nipa atroye nchem so akasa de atodwa sese de ni memu ayeden pa enuane ayeden mo mudi no ayeden ensuo ho ayeden kanea ho ayeden ne nuro so ayeden efrise se kanea ne timi abapo a agiso munya fango edigum na fango no nso munya bikura to no akwako yensense bebrento mo koto ade asre ewiase nyade so mombrem World Health Organization 24 akasa dia tudwa se wo ha we se so ma anso anu ntama wanhwe ya ede yare kese ebeba ewiase so ne hanumo ena kasieboni nada esi asida eko ediama se was closet wano ene hye yatade ene anwumre se wa number no eye 0243 508535 ena mitielo let's lock the natural hair number no ye 0244 423201
Honeypot Salon so ene ye miti edemami Honeypot ewo La Paz Fraga oil nche hono abomode na freno ewo 0248945959 0248945959 abana be yi nya no enemy din bene
ekia ajiwa kodi adamu asiama mumu enesha atishia